Weather coverage you can count on with Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna and the Wave 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
Well, this is a threat we've been tracking for you all week long, and earlier this morning the Storm Prediction Center upped that severe risk along portions of the Mississippi here to a moderate risk for severe weather. That is a level 4 out of 5 on the scale. Now, all of North Alabama is still under the risk for severe weather. Our northwestern counties still under that 3 out of 5, an enhanced risk. And this is a risk that is going to carry over into our Saturday, but it does start late tonight. That same area, kind of the focus of the severe threat, is now under a tornado watch that's going to be expiring at 11 o'clock tonight. You'll see that no one within North Alabama right now is under a tornado watch, but of course that's a possibility as that severe threat gets closer to our area as a line of storms develops as the night goes on. Right now, though, this is what it looks like on the Wave 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network. Each one of our 3 radars giving us this minute-by-minute data. It's going to be absolutely crucial when we're tracking storms later tonight. But we're not showing much right now. However, I'm telling you that I'm watching what's happening farther toward the south. This is what I mentioned just a few minutes ago. The showers that have been popping up in South Alabama, Central Alabama as well, have been showing signs of trying to rotate. So it is worth monitoring what's coming out of areas farther to our south, heading up into North Alabama as the night goes on, especially through this evening as temperatures continue to climb. 69 degrees right now in Muscle Shoals, 64 in Huntsville, 61 in Guntersville. Gray and gloomy all across the Wave 31 Thompson Roofing and Construction Skycam Network. Guntersville, we're just stuck in the clouds there out in Marshall County. Look at the forecast wind gusts through the rest of today into tonight into tomorrow. Yeah, you're looking at gusts there close to 40 miles per hour, and that's going to come along and ahead of that line of storms. It's going to be windy enough to need a wind advisory. It starts at 9 o'clock tonight because we're anticipating gusts up to 40 miles per hour out of the southwest. Let's take you through future radar here. And the first area that I want you to watch is what's coming out of the southwest here. We get a few cells trying to develop this evening. And again, they try and show signs of rotation. So we'll be monitoring the threat for you throughout the next several hours. This is 7 o'clock. Now all the way to 10 o'clock. It does look like we catch a little bit of a breather here for a few hours before we really have to turn our attention to what's just off to the west. Timestamp here is 2 a.m. A couple of things to monitor. These individual cells out ahead of a main line will try and rotate as well. There's plenty of spin in the atmosphere, so that tornado risk is certainly something that we're very concerned with. And watch what happens. The line that's west of Memphis almost catches up with these individual rotating cells ahead of that line. So here's 4 a.m. We start to see that storm risk ramping up in the shoals by this point, and the line kind of converges here into one. This main line of storms tracking from west to east. Now 6 a.m., now to 7 a.m. Look at your location and watch this line coming through. This is approaching Athens and Decatur by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, approaching Huntsville and Madison by 8 a.m. 9 a.m. starting to approach western Jackson County, parts of Marshall County. This is 10 o'clock. And then finally by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, that leading edge is in eastern DeKalb County. Past that point in time, storms track southeastward out into Georgia, and we've got some rain behind the storms, and the temperatures start dropping behind the cold front. At this point in time, we are looking at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Here are the storm threats. They haven't really changed, but there is worth the mention for that potential for a strong tornado in addition to embedded tornadoes within the line as it's tracking through. So keep that in mind. This is an overnight threat. You need ways to receive warnings that are going to wake you up, and make sure you have a plan in place before you head to bed tonight. Make sure that you know you're going to seek shelter in the event that a warning is issued. High winds, that's a risk as well. In fact, that's our greatest risk as we go through the overnight into tomorrow morning. Winds gusting in excess of 60 miles per hour will be possible, but the flooding risk looks fairly low. Here's that timeline for you one more time. Reaching the shoals as early as 3, 4, 5 a.m. and then finally reaching Sand Mountain 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. 7-day forecast. Once we get rid of all of this severe threat, it's much quieter but much cooler by the end of the week. And remember, if we are in storm coverage wall to wall tracking these storms, you can always listen for your forecast. We'll be right back.